Hi. The budget is just round the corner, and while I generally don't do budget shows, I thought I'd just give a little bit of perspective of where the country, the economy, and the budget of the country is placed currently. One big thing which one can see on the data available up till now, which is up to about 10th of January, is that there is a huge shortfall in tax collections. So last year the budget had estimated that the GST and the corporate tax would grow by about 10.5 to 10.9%. In actual fact, they are growing far less than that. And strangely enough, and this is something I pointed out then itself, that while personal income tax rates had been cut, it was budgeted that personal income tax would grow by 14.5%. And the only explanation I could come up with was that the government was expecting the capital market related taxes to go up. STT, which is the security transaction tax, was supposed to go up by 40%. It has actually gone up by just about 1% or so, 1.5%. So in total, if we add up all the taxes, they were supposed to go up by about 10.9%. Year to date, we are running at something like 6%. Of course, this year the government has given far lower refunds, and therefore the net tax collection has grown by 8% as against an estimate of 11%. So there's again a big shortfall, and this shortfall runs into trillions of rupees. I think it is something like 1.3 lakh crore rupees, as if we just extrapolate the same growth rate to the rest of the year. So that's a big gap, which means that it will be difficult for the government to find extra money to do anything extra or give any concessions in this budget. So that is something to be kept in mind. Another thing to be kept in mind is the reason, or at least part of the reason why the tax collections are anemic, is that tax depends on nominal growth of profits, of income, and to some extent is related to the nominal growth of the economy. And right now the nominal growth for the economy has been very low, because the real growth rate, which is the headline number of GDP growth that comes, so like a quarter ago when the GDP growth number was 8.4%, that was the real growth, the nominal growth was only 8.7%. So the very high real growth was only because the inflation deflator was very small. Now the strange part is that while if you look at the macroeconomics, it appears we are in a Goldilocks situation, great GDP growth and very, very low inflation, right? Historically low inflation. But if you look at corporate earnings so far, which of course is not wholly representative because only a few industries, the results come out that early, you will see that while revenue growth has been decent, the profit growth has lagged. So which means margins are getting compressed, and that means the expenses are growing faster than the revenues. So if inflation really in all the relevant parts of the economy was that low, that should not have happened. So that is the thing. But as far as the budget is concerned, as I said, because of the low tax collection, there's not much room for the government to give any great concessions. And I am never in that boat of people who ask for concessions for either the capital market or corporate tax. To my mind, the government should focus on a few areas which are all interrelated, which is education, health, research, and employment. So only if you have good health for your people right from childhood onwards, only if you are able to educate them well, will you have employable people. Because right now we are in a situation where we have part of the demographic dividend story, which means we have a lot of people in the working age, but we are not able to find jobs for them. So that is very important, because this bulge of working age people is there only for a limited time, and after some time the population will start to plateau and then come down. So we really need to take advantage of that. So those should be the focus areas to my mind: education, health, employment, and research, because now in today's world we cannot get by without spending on R&D. Just to give you an idea, China spends 25 times what we do on R&D. So those are the areas but this time the degrees of freedom for the government might be low because the tax collections are not buoyant. So this is my kind of pre-budget perspective on what is happening and what I would like the budget to focus on. So hope it was of some help, and let me know of your comments on what you are thinking about the budget.